Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. But tonight is also Monday Night Football, and the Jaguars just took a lead over the Chiefs, and there's 16 seconds left in this game. Jaguars are beating the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28 with 16 seconds left in this game. I need to see how this game ends. So we're going to do a slight little watch along right now. Like, this is wild. Oh, wait. Holding penalty on who? Against the Chiefs. Oh, no, because the Chiefs just got the ball back because the Jags just scored. But as we watch that, we'll talk Raw. Raw was a pretty good show. I was enjoying it for the most part. The Becky Maxine match, you could tell Becky was really working her ass off in that match. And then we just had a crap finish where Becky got herself counted out because she got overconfident in how much she could beat the crap out of Maxine. So, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. And then Bayley about to turn Lyra heel or something. Like Lyra in the back with Bayley beating the crap out of Judgment Day. Like, that's not a babyface thing to do at all. So, some interesting things on tonight's show as we build to Crown Jewel this weekend. Also, CM Punk basically stated that on, let me get a calendar out here, December 29th, he will be challenging Seth Rollins for the World Championship. Because he said, I beat Seth Rollins the first day of the year, on the first Raw of the year, whatever he said. Now, he said, I'm also going to beat Seth Rollins for the world title at the last Raw of the year. So I guess that would be December 29th. Maybe we're getting John Cena versus, not John Cena. Talk John Cena. Big John Cena news. But on December 29th, we can see Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the world title. Will Punk win? I don't know. 7 seconds left. Chiefs not looking good. Chiefs are not looking good here. But speaking of John Cena, it has been revealed by Dave Meltzer today on F4W Online that Gunther internally is listed as John Cena's final opponent. The plan right now is to hold a tournament on television that would lead to Gunther winning the tournament and becoming John Cena's final opponent. Basically, would have a bunch of top names vying for the opportunity to face John Cena at Saturday night's main event on December 13th, with Gunther coming out victorious. Also, other news, in a couple of hours, Santos Escobar will be a free agent. Santos Escobar's contract is expiring tonight at midnight. WWE tried to offer him an extension with more money, and he turned it down, reportedly from both Fightful and PWU Insider, because he wasn't too, I guess you'd say, thrilled with current creative. Don't know what's going to happen with him going forward, but because the contract is expiring, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, so don't hold me to it, it's legally possible for him to show up on AEW Dynamite tomorrow night, Tuesday. It's legally possible because there's no 90-day non-compete. The contract expired, and he's good to go tonight, tomorrow, anywhere he wants. Also, there's 3 seconds left in this game. I don't see the Chiefs winning. This is wild. Crazy. I didn't expect this one. When they were tied 14-14 in the third, I was like, oh, all right, cool. Jags kind of doing their thing, whatever. Chiefs are going to get them in the end. Nope. Let's see. Final play of the game. Mahomes looks rattled. Travis Hunter was showing out this game. I'll tell you that. Travis Hunter. I mean, Trevor Lawrence with some big throws too. But, yeah. Back to the Santos Escobar thing, though. I don't know where he goes from here. Could go do some CMLL. Maybe the Crash like Andrade did. Could go to AEW. Maybe TNA, but it was his decision to leave. The word is that he wasn't thrilled with creative. They tried to offer him a little more money, and he turned it down. They are so just, what's the word I'm looking for? With this game. They are waiting stretching it out. Because they're on the other side of the field. Like, Mahomes needs a Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary to win this game. Here we go. What the hell is going on? Why is nobody trying to tackle Mahomes? Yeah, no, that's it, game. Jags win. Are they at Arrowhead? Are they in Kansas City as well? That was a weird play there at the end because Mahomes was in the backfield and like just nobody even coming at him. Nobody even coming at him. I guess because they knew he was going to throw a bomb, so they wanted all their defenders downfield. But yeah, wow. Tony Khan's Jacksonville Jaguars just beat the Chiefs. Jags just beat the Chiefs. Holy moly. But with all of that, we got a Monday Night Raw to talk about that I thought was a pretty good show. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, right now, if you subscribe on Twitch, which is only $5, you get 3 free months of Duolingo. It's over here. 3 free months of Duolingo. So subscribe on Twitch to get 3 free months of Duolingo now. Whether you're watching on Twitch and you haven't done it yet, or you're watching on YouTube and you go, I want some free Duolingo. I want 3 free months of Duolingo. Hop on over to Twitch, hit that subscribe button, and help us out and get some stuff free for yourself. I think there's some other perks right now if you subscribe as well. As far as drops and stuff, drops are on. So again, if you do subscribe on Twitch, you will get 3 free months of Duolingo. Let me just double check what other ones there are. Drops are enabled, so that is on for you. But that's the big one right now that like not specific for a game or anything, is the 3 free months of Duolingo. All the other ones, like if we're playing a game, you can get rewards for that game. You know, if we're playing Marvel Rivals, if we're playing Animal Party, if we're playing Slapshot, Rebound. But right now, if anybody, no matter what we're doing, if you subscribe, you get 3 free months of Duolingo. But also remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know we post to the community tab. Also remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to a badge next to your name, emotes, and emojis that you can use in the live chat in the comments section, our graphics packages, and our graphics tutorials. Also remember, you can help us out by donating a super chat to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Also, don't forget, tomorrow we are going to be live because it's AEW Dynamite on a Tuesday, Title Tuesday. So we'll be doing our AEW Dynamite Watch Along / Spider-Man 2 stream. But then we'll be also watching goddamn NXT Showdown, where it's NXT versus TNA. So we got a lot going on tomorrow night's stream, where the main focus is to be watching Dynamite, but I'll also be keeping up with what's going on NXT. And of course, we're going to continue our playthrough of Spider-Man 2. But as far as tonight does go, Monday Night Raw. The show did kick off from Dallas, Texas with the OTC, Roman Reigns. Or should I say, the OTC won Roman Reigns. Reigns came out and did his thing. Dallas, Texas, acknowledge me. Reigns said, oh, I skipped the whole paragraph there. Reigns entered and got a great reaction from the crowd. Getting a little tired of the American crowds doing the European international chants. because they did it for Cody on Friday. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. Then they did tonight for Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of getting over it. Kind of getting tired of it. I do say so myself. Because, like, it's not that I hate the chant and it's getting annoying. It's that the wrestlers are just going to sit there and let them do it and wait and wait and wait. And it felt like this crowd just did that. And then they would chant OTC. Or first off, they chanted OTC. Then they did the Roman Reigns. And then they chanted OTC again. And Roman just waited. Palpatine says, I don't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the chant. It's the fact that the wrestlers are now just letting the crowds do it. And they're just waiting before they do or say anything. And it's just dragging. Like, I don't mind the chants, but I don't want them going on for 5 minutes before the wrestler even says anything. And it's not like they were doing it during the entrance and Roman was doing his entrance anyways, you know, whatever. No, it's Roman was in the ring. Roman's standing there. And he's just letting him go. And letting him go. And let him go for like 5 freaking minutes. Reigns eventually asked them to acknowledge him. He was interrupted by Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman, though. Heyman told the crowd to acknowledge actually the tribal thief, Bronson Reed, and they booed. Heyman wanted Reigns to acknowledge the one man that he feared in his heart, Bronson Reed. Heyman said that Reigns has never been beaten so badly that he needed to be taken out on a stretcher. Reed said, Alpha and Sika, they never got taken out on stretchers in their career, but you did because of me. Reed wondered how they would feel about Roman having to be stretched out and taken to a hospital at his hands. Reigns says that Reed didn't know his dad or his uncle, but the dumbass standing next to him, Paul Heyman, did. Heyman knew exactly what they would say. Fight now. Right now, let's fight. Reigns then said, you know what? Let's have a match. I'll even let you name the place, the time, the type. I don't care. You said it, and I'll be there. Reed, ready to go, kind of converses with the Oracle, Paul Heyman, for a moment. And then they tell Roman Reigns, we'll have a match with you this Saturday. Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. And then Heyman proceeds to say, it is the match that this man made. It is the match that got this man hired and brought to the main roster. It is the match that some say they are not even allowed to do anymore because he made it so brutal. It is an Australian street fight. And I'm like, oh, so they're just having a street fight. There's no reason for it to be Australian street fight just because they're in Australia. Like, what makes an Australian street fight different than just a street fight? Like, you go to Montreal and you have a Montreal street fight. Well, what's the difference? There isn't one. You go to Perth, you have a Australian street fight. There's no difference. Roman accepted, and there we go. Heyman and Reed were about to leave, and Roman goes, yeah, I see what this is. You guys don't want to fight. You're just walking off like a couple of bitches. And Reed got all kinds of mad. Marched down to the ring. Heyman at one point tried to run after him, but then gave up. Reed gets in the ring, and the two go to blows. The two start fighting before they spill to the outside, where Roman then sends Reed over the barricade into the announce area, like the timekeeper's area. Roman then goes to clear off the table, like he's going to put Reed through the table, but everyone comes down to stop him. Referees and producers and stuff. The two keep fighting for a little while before they're finally separated, and there we go. Reigns posed for the crowd as Reed looked on from the stands. Good little segment here. I don't know why we're getting this match. Well, I know why we're getting this match again. Because Reed's the one that took out Roman, so Roman wants the revenge. But it's like, we kind of just saw this. But I think, Roman wins probably this time. We see CM Punk wearing Chicago Cubs cap. Larry Valkyria, Io Sky all arriving at the building. Backstage, Asuka demanded that Adam Pearce make a match tonight. Kyrie versus Io. Kyrie's not standing there. There's the thing to note. It's only Asuka and Pierce. He's like, wait, you guys already have a match. It's Saturday, and Asuka's ready in Australia. Or no, he said Rhea's ready in Australia. Well, what are you asking? She goes, Kyrie, Io, tonight. He goes, tonight? You want a match tonight? And she's like, yeah, that's what I said. And he's like, well, let me go talk to Io, see if she's even ready, and I'll come back to you if we can make it official. So I'm like, this is all kinds of weird. Asuka's demanding a match for somebody else to fight somebody. I don't get it. But the match did become official. Asuka set it up. Pierce made it official. Later on, it was Io and Kyrie. But Pierce leaves. Asuka's all riled up. And Kyrie comes in. Asuka told her, you're going to fight Io tonight. She's like, what? No. She's my friend. I don't want to fight her. We're family. Asuka then slaps her. And Kyrie's like, oh, yes, Asuka. Okay. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, Asuka. Like, and Asuka's sitting there. Ooh, good girl. Very, very good girl. Good girl. Like, you do what I say, God damn it. Then we got to our first match. It was a non-title match. It was a Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch taking on Maxine Dupree. And yeah, they tried. Like, I can't say that it was a bad match because it was better than what we've seen in the past from Maxine. But it was really Becky knows what moves Maxine can do. Becky knows her limitations, and she worked around it. That's what it was. Becky worked around Maxine's limitations. Now, here's my question. Is Maxine just a sloppy wrestler at times? Or is her gimmick still somebody that's learning to be a wrestler? Because she really comes off like somebody still learning and not a polished pro wrestler. Like, I could do moves here and there, but sometimes they're not going to look great because I still don't fully know what I'm doing. That's how it comes off. And so, like, a lot of stuff happens early on, but nothing of note. At one point, Dupree went for a simple drop kick, missed. I guess she was supposed to go for the gut because she missed and hit Becky in like the knee quad area. And then Becky just falls down and grabs her gut like she was supposed to be drop kicked in the stomach. That didn't look good. But Lynch, again, like I said, reacted like what was supposed to happen, even though it's not what happened. Dupree at one point hit a cannonball off the apron, but Lynch suplexed her into the barricade to take over ahead of a break. Dupree then fired back after the break and applied an ankle lock. She did the whole pull the straps down and everything, you know. Lynch broke out of it, though. Dupree then hit a sit-out powerbomb out of the corner and got a 2. At one point, Dupree hit a roundhouse kick for a very close near fall on the champ. And she actually got the crowd going, like got the crowd. The crowd kind of was down early in this match, but then like Maxine made a comeback and the crowd, woo, like, holy shit. Really? 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 I was shocked by that one. They tried some cradles after this. Dupree even tried a schoolboy with her feet on the ropes, a little cheating there, but Becky did kick out. Lynch was frustrated, so she tossed Dupree out of the ring and around ringside, driving her into the announce table and the barricade. Lynch taunted the crowd while standing on the announce table, but she stopped paying attention to Dupree. Dupree rolled into the ring. Becky's kind of just taking her time to get back to the ring. All of a sudden, referee Jessica Carr looks down. She goes, 10! And Becky just goes, what? She signals to the ring announcer, and your winner by countout, Maxine Dupree. And I'm like, oh my. Not a strong finish there. But it wasn't like the strong match. It was okay. It went long. It was almost a 14-minute match. It did not need to go as long as it did at all. At all. As soon as the match was over, Maxine was like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. And she ran up the ramp to the back. She kind of celebrated. She like fell to her hands and knees at the top of the ramp on the stage. Kind of celebrated for a moment and then got out of there. I don't know what to think of this match. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match because we've seen worse from Maxine. I think this was even better than the last Maxine-Becky Lynch match. But it just, Maxine still comes off as someone who's still learning to wrestle. You could tell Becky had to work around her limitations. And yeah, it was just there with a not great finish. Roman Reigns is in the back. He met with the Usos. Jimmy was about to tell Reigns that they had his back at Crown Jewel, but Jay cut him off to say, quote, "I got you." Listen to how he said that. I got you. Reigns didn't want the help, though, especially not Jay. Reigns already told Jay to focus on himself. Reigns mentioned that it was CM Punk, not Jey Uso, speaking at the top of the hour. Jay didn't like that, so he left, basically saying, hey, you want to be a top guy? You need the key talking segments. You need the big matches. And that ain't happening. Reigns then told Jimmy, or Jimmy told Roman, we're nothing like you. And Roman said, ever since you won that world title, he's a lot more like me and less like you than ever. He then asked Jimmy why there would be a problem with Jay seeking his advice. He also told Jimmy, eventually you gotta let your brother go and do his own thing. I think Jimmy's gonna turn. It's what it looks like. Especially after last week, it looks like Jimmy might turn. It's basically what we'll see later. Then we had Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. All happy-go-lucky babyface Bayley came out with her to the point where Lyra come out to do her entrance. Woo! Woo! And then Bayley just runs out jumping up and down. Yeah, let's go! Woo! Ah! Oh, calm down there, Bayley. The Perez worked over Valkyria's arm early on and in through a break, even though Valkyria had trouble later on with the arm. It's time for a distraction as Rodriguez distracted the referee, which also distracted Valkyria as she went to the top rope. Valkyria stopped what she was doing just to go look down at Roxanne, who was jumping up on the apron. Rodriguez at one point booted Bayley at ringside, so Valkyria drop-kicked Roxanne. Perez then threw her through the ropes and laid out Valkyria with the Tornado DDT. Perez followed this up with some pop rocks and picked up the victory. So there was also a spot where Bayley held onto Lyra's arm to try and help her with the pin and what. There was a lot of schmaz going on in this one. Big schmazes. But in the end, Judgment Day does pick up the victory. Bayley was not happy with any of this. So she told Lyra to storm to the back with her. They got a game plan. The match went about 9.5 minutes. They got a big video package hyping up John Cena versus AJ Styles. That led to Jackie Redmond interviewing AJ Styles. She interviewed Styles for his upcoming match against Cena, but he was interrupted by Judgment Day and the male members of Judgment Day. Dominic wondered why Styles thought that he could beat John Cena when Styles couldn't even beat him. He ain't wrong. Also, any of this new Dom shirt. It's Dom as a kid playing a PSP. Where the hell is that shirt on shop? That shirt is great. It's Dom as a kid playing a PSP. Hold on. We're going to go to WWE shop real fast. Dominic Mysterio. Is this an actual shirt? I'm not seeing it. Hold on, let me type just shirts. Nope, I don't see it on shop. Damn. Damn. Because that would have been a great shirt to have. Dom as a kid playing a PSP. It's all because of the PSP, of course. But where was I? Finn Balor. A rumor that Styles and Dragon Lee wanted to challenge for the tag titles. Balor warned Styles that'd be a mistake. Styles said that they were acting tough because it was 3-on-1 right now. Styles said that he would go find Dragon Lee and a partner. Let's do a 6-man later on tonight. So it was supposed to be, I want to say it was supposed to just be a tag match that was announced. After the break, Styles and Dragon Lee met with Penta. In the meeting ended with Penta agreeing to be their third man because basically AJ said, hey, you do this match, maybe you could beat Dom and get something up, But as they're, setting this up, all of a sudden we hear commotion. Camera pans over, and it's Bailey and Lyra beating the crap out of Roxanne and Raquel. I'm like, what the hell? This ain't babyface Lyra. Bailey gonna turn her heel? I don't know. This is wild. This is wild. I don't know what's going on here. But then officials and stuff broke it up, and Adam Pearce is just yelling at everybody. Adam Pearce lost it. He was just lost it. So CM Punk came out, and then LA Knight came out, and then Jey Uso came out. And basically, the three guys that got title shots at Crown or Clash in Paris all want a title shot again. They all still want Seth Rollins. Like, that's all this was. But it was long and stretched out. And yeah. Also, we got Punk back for the first time since WrestlePalooza, but no AJ Lee. Where the heck is AJ? Punk came out. Glad to be back. Thank the fans for the warm welcome for his wife. Punk then spoke about the upcoming match between Cody and Seth. Title versus title. Well, it's more, he said title versus title, but it's champion versus champion with their titles not on the line. Punk says he hasn't been around because he didn't want to get involved in their stuff. But now that that's about to come to a head, the end of the year is near. He needs to beat Seth Rollins. He said that he said I started out the year on Netflix beating Seth Rollins, and I'm going to end the year on Netflix beating Seth Rollins for the title. He then pointed out a sign in the crowd that said Punk deserves his title back. And he says, no, deserve is not the right word. I already earned that belt, and Seth stole it from me. Now I know I have his number, and I can beat him again. So if he's going to end the year on Netflix by winning the title, then one would assume December 29th on Raw could be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the belt. LA Knight came out and basically said he deserves a shot at the title because he earned it. And he wants a shot. And then the two just jibber jabber and slack. Blah, 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 blah. It really felt like I was watching goddamn Peanuts. Womp, 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 womp. Womp, 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 womp. Knight at one point called Punk a two-timing loser against Seth Rollins. Well, Knight was the last person to pin Seth Rollins. Knight would also be the next to pin Seth. Not unless Cody does. This then led to Jey Uso coming out. Jey was finally thinking clearly, he said he's the one who's going to get a singles match against Seth for the title and get the title. Then again, it was more just womp, 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 womp. Also, what's up with CM Punk's hair looking like freaking Butthead from Beavis and Butthead? He's got the high slick back. The high slick back. I'm sitting here and I'm just going, God damn, this guy watching Beavis and Butthead? Butthead. Anyways, they all just keep on just talking and rambling. Jimmy Uso then marches out. And Knight kept on going. Thankfully, Jay super kicked him to shut him up. Jay was about to super kick Punk, but Jimmy pulled him away. Punk then saw the attempt, so he decked him. Jay, that is. Jimmy then didn't like that, so he super kicked Punk. We then got an Io Sky video package just talking about her recent history with Asuka. The tag match was made for the main event. CM Punk and LA Knight taking on the Usos. And then this did lead us to about a 10-minute match between Io and Kairi. Really well-worked match. I liked it. I really liked Kairi's, I guess you can almost say acting, where at times she was almost like pulling herself back because she didn't want to do some of the things that she has to do in a match against Io. Because remember, Asuka told her, you have to win. You better win. Messy, did you not watch Raw and see what's announced for next week's Raw? There is an IC title match taking place in Perth. We'll get to that in a little bit. So, as far as this match does go, Sky wiped out Asuka with a dive before the match even began. Even though it didn't matter. Asuka got involved later anyways. Sky went after Sane while outside the ring, but a distraction by Asuka allowed Sane to shove her into the side of the ring. Zayn followed by giving Zayn an Alabama slam on the edge of the ring. That holy fucking shit. How did EO finish this fucking match? How did EO finish this match after taking that Alabama slam? Like, what? The back of her head just right on the apron. Oh my God, that looked bad. Oh, later on, same one for the insane elbow. This guy got her feet up, followed up as a corner meteora. As in the previous matches we've seen tonight, the heels outside the ring jumped up on the apron to cause a distraction when the babyface climbed the ropes. This allowed Zayn to cradle Sky as Asuka held her arms down right next to the ref. This ref, granted, not looking. I guess you could say she was looking at EO's shoulders instead of over to Kyrie's shoulders that were being held down by Asuka. Anyways, the heels cheat to win. Asuka helps Kyrie get the big win. After the match, Asuka held down Zayn while Kyrie hit an insane elbow, and they beat her down a little more. About a 10-minute match. We then got a part 2 of the 3-part video about Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and their history. Becky's then in the locker room with Heyman and Seth, and she's just ranting. How could I lose to Maxine? How could I lose to her? What is going on? She's pissed off with the way she's been treated, and she's like, you know what? I need to go talk to Pierce. This can't stand. And basically says she's not going to Australia with referees like this. Bessie says, I mean for Becky. Yeah, no. What are they going to do? Becky and Maxine again next week for the belt? Yeah. But after she left, things got interesting with Seth and Heyman. Rollins repeated to Heyman that he has to beat Cody on Saturday. Rollins asked, what happens? What happens if I lose? Heyman's like, excuse me? That's not even a possibility. We don't want to talk like that. And Seth again goes, no, Paul. What happens if I lose? What happens if I lose? And Heyman's trying to calm him down like, guy, you're Seth freaking Rollins. You're not going to lose. But he's like, Paul, I need a real answer. What happens if I lose? And Heyman's just like, oh, if you lose the locker room. You lose the faith of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Throw away everything that we've been working on. You, the face of the Netflix era. It's all been built around you. You will lose that. Rollins would become a de facto secondary champion. And Heyman said, you can't lose. And then Seth again goes, but Paul, what if I lose? He goes, if you lose, I'd have to ask myself, why did I pick you over Roman Reigns? And then Heyman leaves. I don't get this at all. I get the doubt. I guess you would say, like, yeah, there's a little bit of doubt. Cody's beaten him 3 times. But you're Seth Rollins. You're the World Heavyweight Champion. You should be confident that you could believe in yourself to beat Cody. I don't know. This was a very weird segment. But for the last week or so now, they've been teasing a little bit of, not dissension, but is this partnership of Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman really a good thing for either guy? So, okay, I messed up earlier. When I said there was the Roman Reigns with the Usos segment, I kind of merged them two together because in my brain, they were like the same segment. So this is the one where Roman basically told Jimmy, you got to back off from Jay and let him do what he's going to do. He's more like me than you. Yeah. I kind of just merged them together because in my brain, they were basically the same segment twice. So then we had our 6-man tag team match. It was a Judgment Day. Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio and the World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough against AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Penta. So Go to the first break about 5-6 minutes in, and nothing really happens before it. We then go to another break, and again, not much really happens in that second set of 5 minutes or so. But at one point, Dragon Lee did make a hot tag to Penta when they came back from, I want to say it was the second break. Penta ran a wild and went for a Canadian Destroyer, but McDonough reversed it into a Spanish Fly. Joe Test was talking about how tough JD McDonough is, but how innovative Penta can be with his offense. Styles then tagged in next and hit Dom with the spinning rack bomb, but McDonough broke up the pin. Dragon Lee then got rid of McDonough, and Penta wiped out Balor with a flip dive. Dom then went for a 619 on AJ, but stopped in his tracks upon seeing a Rusev. Yep, another frickin' distraction. Rusev marches out. Dom bails from the ring. Dom then grabbed his belts, the AAA Mega Championship and the Intercontinental Championship, and tried to escape, but Rusev caught him. Penta then went for a super kick on Dom, but Dom ducked, and Penta accidentally super kicked Rusev. Dom then bailed through the crowd. AJ then grabbed McDonough, hit him with the Styles Clash, and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Even though AJ pinned JD, Penta's getting a title shot next week against Dom with the IC belt on the line. Okay, cool, sure, whatever. So AJ grabs the mic afterwards, jumps up on the announce table, said, "This match I'm going to have against John Cena, it doesn't need a story because it writes itself. We're two men that will dance for the very last time. We will leave it all in the ring, and it'll kick ass." Styles then did a Cena salute. Match itself went 14 minutes. As far as Crown Jewel does go, remember that show does start at 8 a.m. Eastern, with the pre-show starting at 6 a.m. Eastern. SmackDown is also starting at that same time as well. There's our SmackDown review this week. It's I don't know how much. I might be able to watch a little bit of it while I'm at work because I just work on a computer making graphics all day. So I can have it on my second screen while I'm editing video and graphics on the other screen. So I should be able to watch all, if not most of it, while at work. And then on Fridays, I get off at 2 Central. So maybe around 3:30, we can do the review. It'll be an early review for Friday's SmackDown. That's for sure. The SmackDown review will be done early. It's not going to be late after it airs on USA Network. But it's not going to be immediately soon as it's over, because that show, again, is starting at 8 a.m., right when I get to work, 8 a.m. But as far as Saturday is going, Crown Jewel, we do know that John Cena will be taking on AJ Styles. Roman Reigns will fight Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will take on Asuka and Kairi Sane. With the Women's Crown Jewel Championship on the line, Stephanie Victoria will take on Tiffany Stratton. And with the Men's Crown Jewel Championship on the line, Seth Rollins will take on Cody Rhodes. Also, remember, next week's Raw does start at 8 a.m. as well. That one, I don't know what time we're going to get the review because I work till 5 on Mondays. So maybe 6:30 or so, we'll do the Raw review. It won't be this late next week, for sure. 2 things were announced for next week's Raw. Dominic Mysterio will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Penta. And Bayley and Lara Valkyria will take on Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez and, Raquel Rodriguez. The announcers then said, Penta's getting this match because he earned the title shot. But like I said, AJ pinned JD. CM Punk and LA Knight are in the back, and they're just talking over their matchup coming, not really getting a strategy. The only real strategy was LA Knight told Punk, "Hey, I got one thing I need from you. Don't get pinned." That was it. Don't get pinned. Before we talk about the main event, before we talk about CM Punk and LA Knight against the Usos, let's hear from our sponsor. Let's be real. Life moves fast, and dinner shouldn't slow you down. That's where Factor comes in. Factor 75 delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door so you can skip the grocery store, the prep, and the cleanup. Just heat and eat and get back to crushing your day. Whether you're keto, calorie conscious, or just want to eat clean without sacrificing flavor, Factor has chef-crafted options that actually taste like real food. Maybe you want pancakes for breakfast, chicken for lunch, and a steak for dinner. Factor has you covered. And here's the kicker. These meals are ready to go in just 2 minutes. That's less time it takes to scroll through your delivery app and regret your choices. So if you want to fuel your hassle, then sign up for a 5 subscription today. Use our code below, scan the QR code on the screen, or use our link in the description to get 50% off your order. Eat smart, live fully with Factor. With all of that, remember, if you are watching on Twitch or you want to switch over to Twitch, subscribe on Twitch. It's like $5 to subscribe, and you get 3 free months of Duolingo. Again, all Twitch subscriptions right now do get you a free 3-month subscription to Duolingo. As far as this main event match does go, Punk and Knight weren't really getting along. Punk chopped Knight's chest at one point to tag himself in. Jay then aggressively will tag Knight in. Jay aggressively launched Knight into the steel steps at one point as the Usos had control early on during the break. Punk made the hot tag and hit Jimmy with a flying elbow drop. Jimmy then slipped out of a GTS attempt and tagged in Jay, who hit an Uso splash, but Knight broke up the cover. At one point, Punk did give Jay a GTS, but Knight tagged himself in and then pinned Jay to steal the win. Yeah, you heard me right. Punk had it won. LA Knight made himself the legal man and said, nope, me, yeah. Took the win, stole the win from Punk. This man thinks he's the Miz, like teaming with Carmelo Hayes. That's the shit the Miz was doing. Carmelo Hayes would have the match won. Miz will tag himself in and steal the win. Match went about 9 to 9.5 minutes. Very weak end to the show, I will say, because the show just ended. Like literally, LA Knight got the win, and the show was just basically over. It just felt like a weak main event and a weak finish. I was not a fan of it. Like the match itself was fine. It was literally 9 minutes, 9.5, and not much. Like you just heard all my notes. That's all I wrote down. Punk and Knight weren't getting along. Jay was aggressive before the break. Jimmy slipped out of a GTS. Oh, and I wrote Jay speared Punk and went to the top at one point. Punk then went to give him then Punk. I recap the whole match again in 30 seconds. Punk gave Jay a GTS. Knight tagged in and stole the pin. Like that's all that happened in this match. 9.5 minute match. And that's all I wrote down because literally nothing happened in this match. Very, very weak main event and finish. But with that, guys, that was Monday Night Raw. Overall, even with the weak ending, I still felt like it was a fun, good Raw. With that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. As far as these polls do go, let's go refresh all of them. As far as the threads poll does go, 53% liked the show, 47% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter X poll, why are we not seeing anything there? There we go. 81% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right. As far as the community poll does go, 81% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. As far as the live poll does go, 84% liked the show, 11% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. Remember, you could join us. Thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, a little programming note, there's no AEW on Wednesday because hockey starts on Wednesday. So Dynamite is actually moved to Tuesday tomorrow. And we're going to do our Dynamite watch-along / Spider-Man playthrough. We're also going to be keeping track and watching NXT as well, because that's the big showdown show. So we'll be talking to all of that tomorrow. And then Friday, we'll do SmackDown, on, I guess you could say, early afternoon review, because that's an 8 a.m. show. Then we got Crown Jewel on Saturday. And we start it all again next Monday with Raw from Perth. So again, with that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.